we doing? Welcome back to another episode of Steel Talking Sports. I'm your host, Jay Steele, and let's get talking. Howdy, howdy. Hope everybody's had a good day. What a wonderful slate of basketball games. We can recap them and see how we did. Started out the day with a fire pick, Creighton plus 2.5, Creighton money line. Also, that was one of my best bets of the day. So started off hot there. Lost on a high point. They were in that game the whole entire way. Ended up losing by like what, 9? So like right there. Same with Montana plus 16.5. They lost. They were in the game the entire way, did not get beyond the 16.5 until the last few minutes. Um, One second. I was on the first half money line as well. That did not come through. That was a stretch to think that could happen, but they were in it for the first 10 minutes. Next up, Houston covered the minus 28.5 easily against Edwardsville. Alabama State covered the 32.5 against Auburn. Great job. And then next up, best play number 2 of the day for us, McNeese plus 7.5. McNeese money line. Um, they played awesome in the first half. They really shut Clemson down, and then it got hairy down toward the wire, but they got the W. So that was pretty awesome. VCU plus 2.5. That was a loss. Gonzaga best bet number 3 minus 6.5. That was never a sweat. They went up like 25 to 3, 27 to 3 to start the game. That was ridiculous. So by like the 5 or the 6 minute mark, it wasn't even a game anymore. Uh, Tennessee minus 18.5 did not cover. Wofford was able to stay inside the number. Tennessee might have pushed it to 20 one time. So that was, good game by Wofford. Stayed within the number. They played hard. They played tough. Arkansas plus 5.5 against Kansas. Great job there, getting that win outright. Um, I thought about betting this game, but I did not pull the trigger on it. I should have. I would have been on the Arkansas side, obviously, but I did not have the stones for it in that one, so I did not pull the trigger. Yale plus 7.5. They were in the game with Texas A&M the entire time. Another one that it was like if they just made a couple of more buckets, they were right there. Um, Best bet number 4, Drake plus 6.5 and Drake money line. I mean, 3 out of my 4 best bets that have been completed. Texas Tech is still playing right now. Were money line dogs. I mean, what do you want me to say? Like this is a free show, obviously. That was pretty fun today. UCLA minus 5.5. I walked the dog, so I didn't see the final score, but I'm assuming they covered this. 72 to 47. Yes, they did. That's another W on the board for us. St. John's is currently up by 29 points with 2 minutes to go. So I think we're going to cover the 18.5 there. Um, and then UC San Diego plus 2.5. They have cut it to 5 points with just over 5 minutes to go. Um, and Texas Tech minus 14.5. It is a 2 point game at the 16-minute mark in the second half. So we got some work to do with Texas Tech. Um, but let me see. One, two, three. Right now, I count that I'm 8-5. St. John's is looking good, so that'll be 9-5. We can bring these last two home, possibly 10-5 or 11-5 on the day. So good day to start. Let's hop into tomorrow's picks, and let's see what's cracking. First up, we got Baylor, the 9 seed at or not at Mississippi State, but playing Mississippi State in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mississippi State laying 1.5 points. Total set at 144.5. Um, I don't know. This is a tough game for me to gauge. I feel like these teams are pretty identical. Baylor 19-4 on the season. Mississippi State 21-12. Um, Baylor 10-10 in conference. Mississippi State 8-10. Um, uh, Baylor's won 3 of their last 5. Mississippi State's lost 3 of their last 5. Um, I don't know. Give me Baylor. Um, I don't really like it, but if we're making picks, I'm just gonna take the Bears plus the 1.5. If you're taking the plus 1.5, you're probably taking the money line too. But it is what it is. It's not one of my favorite games of the 16 on the day. Um, Next up at 12:40, 15 seed Robert Morris plays Alabama, the 2 seed. This is in Cleveland. That's a bad draw for Alabama. This is much closer to Robert Morris's campus. Bob Morris plays their home games where? Moon Township, Pennsylvania. So yeah, Cleveland, Ohio is much closer to Moon Township than old Tuscaloosa there. Alabama is laying 22.5 points. Total is 165.5. Um, I just don't like what I've seen out of this Alabama team. I think they kind of play the way that Auburn did today. They look a little sloppy here and there, and then they win by 10 or 12 points. Um, but yeah, I'm not laying 22.5 with Alabama. So Robert Morris plus 22.5. Next up, 1:30 p.m. Lipscomb, the 14 seed in the South region, takes on number 3 Iowa State. Iowa State is laying 14.5 points. This is one that I actually think Lipscomb can stay inside the number. I might bet this game. I'm not quite sure yet, but I do think this team is capable of staying inside the number and making Iowa State play a game down to the wire. Iowa State had some injuries to a couple of guys in the Big 12 conference tournament, so yeah, I think Lipscomb can stay inside of 15. So give me the Lip plus 14 and a half. Next up at 2 o'clock, Colorado State, the 12 seed, playing the number 5 Memphis, and Colorado State as a 12 seed is laying 1.5 points. This game is played in Seattle. Much better advantage for Colorado State in that department. I'm all over Colorado State here. I think they're a much better team. Um, I don't like this Memphis team, and I think that their luck is finally going to come to an end. I just I just think this is the one that Memphis gets clipped, and they get surprised by a team that they're looking at that is not as good as them. But I think the Rams are vastly improved. Um, let's see, last 10, Colorado's won at least 10 in a row. How many have they won in a row? One second, game log, please. Um, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 10-game winning streak. Last loss was February 11th at Utah State. Um, non-con teams. They beat a North Dakota. They lost to Ole Miss. Um, lost to VCU, who lost today. Um, yeah, doesn't really change my pick. I like the way they're playing down the stretch. Um, Memphis has won 8 in a row. Last loss was at Wichita back on February 16th. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Rams. Colorado State minus 1.5. Colorado State. Had to figure out how to write that. All right. Next game on our slate is we go to 2:50 p.m. The 16 seed Mount St. Mary's goes to play the number 1 Duke seed in Raleigh, uh, Raleigh, North Carolina. Duke laying 32.5 points. Um, I mean, I don't know if Mount St. Mary's can keep up. Um, let's see. Earlier in the year, I mean, they lost to Maryland by 34. They lost to Georgetown by 28. They actually beat Miami. I think I talked about that yesterday. Um, yeah, I don't know. Lay it with Duke, but no bet. If Cooper Flag is healthy, like I saw the news say that he is, I don't think Mount St. Mary's has the size to even try to stop Cooper Flag. Oh, let's go, UC San Diego. Tie game, 2 minutes to go. Let's do this. Come on. 3:15, 10 seed Vanderbilt goes to play the number 7 seed St. Mary's. This game is played in Cleveland, Ohio. St. Mary's is laying 4.5 points. Give me Randy Bennett and St. Mary's to wipe the floor with the Vanderbilt Commodores here. It's been a good season, Vanderbilt. Great job, Mark Byington, coming over from JMU, James Madison. But St. Mary's, 4.5. This number's too short. Yeah, give me St. Mary's minus the points. Um, Next up, we have my game. 4 o'clock p.m. Uh, game is being played in Milwaukee. 11 seed North Carolina Tar Heels go to play Ole Miss, the 6 seed, and the Tar Heels are laying 1.5 points. Yes, UC San Diego took a lead. Let's go. Now, Texas Tech, you need to just increase the lead. Being up by 2 is not good enough. And Michigan just took the lead back. Fuck. Either way, Tar Heels uh, took care of San Diego State the other night. Big game by RJ Davis and the boys, just shooting the lights out of it. Um, that was a great win. I don't know what to expect from Ole Miss here. So the fact that the 11 seed is laying 1.5 points, I think, tells you all that you need to know. So I'm going to be taking the Tar Heels minus 1.5. Next up, we go to 4:35 p.m. The 13 seed Grand Canyon Lopes or Antelopes played the number 4 seed Maryland in the West region. Maryland minus 10.5 points. Um, I like Grand Canyon. I think it's a good story, but I think they get blown out here. You could say this could be the same kind of situation as McNeese. McNeese had all this hype last year. They played Gonzaga. They got whooped. This year, they came back with a vengeance. Um, they did the whooping on Clemson in the first half. They let Clemson score over 50 points in the second half, but still, they got the W. They advanced to round two. Maybe Grand Canyon does the same. Um, Actually, yeah, I'm going to change my pick. I was going to pick Maryland, but now that I think about it, Maryland has a lot of inexperience. So give me Grand Canyon plus the 10.5. GCU. That's such a weird thing to write. Okay, nice. Next up, 6:50 p.m. We move into the nighttime slate. Oh, don't make a three. Yes, get the board. Get the board. Dang it. 6:50 p.m. 16 seed Norfolk State goes to play the number one seed Florida. This game is played in Raleigh. Florida is laying 28.5 points. I think this game looks exactly the way that Houston and SIU Edwardsville did tonight, um, where Norfolk is just going to have a really difficult time putting up points, and Florida is not. Um, so I will all be all over the Gators in this first game. Don't know how much longer that will last. Um, but for this first game, I do like Florida minus the points. 7 o'clock. 14 seed Troy plays number three Kentucky. This is a very interesting game. I've seen a lot of people say that they think Troy can take down Kentucky here. Um, I don't know what to make of this one. Um, I don't really have a good feel for either team. I think when I've bet Kentucky, I've lost every matchup, and I haven't bet Troy enough to have um, any feel against that team at all. So I don't really know what to make of this. Um, one of the sites that I use for data and information, oddsshark.com, their predictive score matchup has Troy, an 11.5 point underdog, winning this game 82.9 to 72. I just I don't know if Troy can beat Kentucky by 11 points. I don't think this is like a reverse line type thing, but it makes me just want to sprinkle the money line. I don't think this is going to be one of my favorite games, but give me Kentucky to win by 5. So Troy plus 11.5 for me. There's 42 seconds left in this Michigan UC San Diego game. Michigan is only up one. This is an awesome game. I really want UC San Diego to win this. Next up at 7:25 p.m. we have uh, the 10 seed New Mexico going to play the number 7 seed Marquette. Oh my God. Marquette is laying 3.5 points. Total is set at 152.5. This is played in Cleveland, Ohio. Um, I don't know what to make of this one. Marquette, I would think, should have been a bigger number, 6.5, maybe 7.5. I know New Mexico is a really good team, um, but I don't quite know what to make of this situation here. Um, yeah, I guess I backed one Patino. I guess I'm gonna back another Patino in Young Rich with the plus 3.5. Um, Come on, miss a free throw. Miss a free throw. Dang it. All right, San Diego. I need a three. Tie the game. Come on. Yeah, New Mexico plus 3.5. That's the way I'm going to go in that matchup. 7:35 p.m. The 13 seed Akron takes on the number 4 seed Arizona. This game is being played in Seattle, Washington. Arizona is favored minus 14 and a half points in this game, and the total is 167 and a half. Um, oh, come on. I need 2.5. Not a. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Oh, San Diego. Oh, man. What a run. Fucking A. Of course, I have plus 2.5, and they finish losing by 3. That is something. Um, Akron, Arizona. Arizona minus 14 and a half. Um, I don't know. I feel like Arizona is just going to blow them out, but also I think Akron can score a lot of points. Just on their last 5 matchups here, Akron has scored 76, 100, 96, 88, and 96. Um, that would have outscored Arizona in all of 5 of their games, except for one where Arizona needed 113 to beat Arizona State. Um, yeah, I don't know. Give me the Zips plus 14 and a half. I, I just think it's too many points. Also, I just think the over is a really good play. Um, and from what I watched today, these teams really haven't had any issues scoring the ball, unless your name is SIU Edwardsville. Everybody has had pretty much a cakewalk, like scoring points. Um, I thought about playing some first half unders, and I'm glad I didn't because I feel like a lot of these games would have gone way over the totals, um, especially in the first half. Sometimes the second halves got kind of slow and bogged down, but these first halves today were, you know, kind of a lot of scoring. Um, Next up, 9:25 p.m. 9 seed Oklahoma plays the 8 seed UConn. UConn is laying 5.5 points. This game is played in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't think that's an advantage for either team, but give me UConn. Danny Hurley doesn't go home this early. He will in this tournament, but not quite yet. So UConn minus 5.5 will be the play for me. Next up, 3 games left. 11 seed Xavier plays the 6 seed Illinois. Illinois is favored minus 3.5 points. This game is played in Milwaukee. Uh, Over under set at 160.5. This is a good regional matchup. Xavier is in Chicago. I think that's right. I'm not quite sure. Let me see. Home game. Cincinnati. Oh, sorry. Well, it started with a C. I was close. Um, so Cincinnati, Illinois. That's a good regional matchup, and it's played in Milwaukee. So this is like you'll have fans from both teams at this game. Um, a couple of days ago, I kind of felt like whoever won the Xavier Texas game didn't have a chance against Illinois. But now I was pretty impressed with Xavier. Um, they were in Dayton, Ohio, so it's not a far flight up to Milwaukee, and then you play 2 or 3 days later. Um, yeah, I like the X Men here. Give me Xavier plus the 3.5. I think they have a chance of winning this outright. This might be a money line play. I'm not quite sure yet. But I do like Xavier and Sean Miller here. 2 games left. We've got Bryant, the Bulldogs, 15 seed, taking on 2 seed Michigan State in the South region. Michigan State is laying 16.5 points. It's been a good run for the Bulldogs, but I think Sparty mops the floor with them here. This is going to be a dog walking tomorrow. Michigan State minus 16 and a half. No problem. Just, better program, better coach. Tom Izzo gets this done, and they advanced to round two. Last game of the night, and maybe one of the funnest games of the night. 12 seed Liberty goes out to Seattle to take on the 5 seed Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks laying 6.5 points, total set at 139.5. I'm going to be playing the Ducks. I love Dana Altman. I love the way he coaches. I love the way Oregon looked down the stretch. First year in the Big Ten, finished with a 24-9 record. Pretty impressed by that team. They played a lot of good games down the stretch. So yeah, Oregon minus the 6.5. And that ends the slate of games for tomorrow, Friday, March 21st. 26 minutes, man. I kind of flew through that one a little fast tonight. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. Either way, let's tally up the record over here since a few more games have gone final. Give me 1 second. 1 and 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 4 and 3, 5 and 3 on that side. 6 and 1 and 1, 2, 2 and 2, 3 and 2, 4 and 2, 9, 6. So currently with one ticket still open in Texas Tech minus 14.5. Yesterday's episode sits at a 9-6 record. Count 3 money line dogs: Creighton, McNeese, and Drake. The only one that I didn't bet today that did hit is Arkansas. So, that was kind of a coin flip game with two really good coaches. So I'm not mad that I did not bet the money line in that one. But hey, that's a good day's work. I like it. So top 5 plays for tomorrow, Friday, March 21st. Let's get it. Let's go to St. Mary's minus 4.5. North Carolina minus 1.5. Oregon Ducks minus 6.5. Xavier plus 3.5. And give me Baylor plus 1.5. So top 5 favorite plays of the day tomorrow: Baylor plus 1.5, St. Mary's minus 4.5, North Carolina minus 1.5, Oregon minus 6.5, and Xavier plus 3.5. That wraps up tonight's show. I will try to do this again tomorrow since I can talk a little bit faster, and 29 minutes is not that long to listen to my voice. Thank you to anybody who listens. Much appreciated. Again, Steel Talking Sports here. Check me out on YouTube at Steel Talking Sports, on Twitter at Steel_Talking. And I will be back tomorrow so we can handicap Saturday's round of 32 games. And then Saturday night, I'll do the same for Sunday's round of 32 games. And then we'll get right into the Sweet 16 next week. Appreciate anybody who listens. Thank you very much, and peace out.